Welcome to Ali Mills Insights, part 9. And today we're going to be talking about emotion in terms of mental health and well-being. And obviously this is a tool that I have used to help overcome my own or medicine that I use as a practice to help me overcome and get to grips with my own anxiety. Ta-da! Yeah. So where should we start? Let's start with the negative stuff. Yeah, negativity and emotions. So have you ever thought about all of those really sticky emotions that you have? Anger, fear, resentment, all the sticky earth ones, helplessness, sadness, grief. And I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but as you pull in all of these kind of emotions, have a think think about the texture of them, and it's really good, especially if you're feeling a little bit not down in the dumps. It's really good to begin to become curious about emotions. So what should I say? So when you try and picking out some of these emotions, you can start to see in your experience where they came from. And quite often a sticky, horrible emotion, the ones that cause us discomfort and are unpleasant to me, you, any of us, they are rooted either in the past or in the future. So if we're looking at anger, there's normally some sort of trigger from somebody's made you so mad. Or grief, feeling masses of loss. Or sadness, somebody's been mean to you. You can kind of attribute those to something that has happened in your past. Yes, they can happen in the present too, but a lot of the time we replay, like an old record player, some of these things over and over and over and over and over in the brain. And then we can start to begin to unpick some of the ones that we have for our future. Like a big one for me is feeling helpless. Like helpless to be able to help other people, helpless to be able to move from the situation I'm in to being something else, something that I want to create. I also find myself worrying about the future, sort of not only my future, the future of my family, the ones that I love, my mum, my son. Where are they going to be in the world? And when I'm on a verge of an anxiety episode, what's happening is generally, once I've got to grips, well, I didn't know this used to happen, but what would happen was I would be panicking about past events, and they would go round and round and round like a loop in my brain. And I was also worried about future. And actually these two things would just be fizzing, like a overactive fizzy thing, like a snow globe that had been shaken up. And what that did was make all my neurons so raw, ow, everything in my body so tense, like it was almost like fogged up glasses, and a tight throat, tight body, and not being able to function too well at all. And I don't know if this is so personal. I'm so sorry, but I don't know if any of you can identify with that, even if you don't suffer with like acute stress, anxiety, a condition, and if you're not wired that way to feel that uncomfortable frozenness of anxiety, quite often, sort of our brains are wired to protect us through hell or high water. So they do this thing about going into the past and going into the future all the time, even if you don't suffer from anxiety. So know that it's normal. Know that there's nothing wrong with you. It's your mind trying to protect you. But what I would suggest, remember, I am not a therapist. Please remember, I'm not a therapist. But what really, really worked for me was to get curious about emotions. Start there. Start having a look, maybe Google emotions and start getting a picture and like pick out the ones that you feel on a regular basis. Like, do you feel angry? Do you feel sad? Do you feel worry? Do you feel helpless? And kind of start to get really curious. You might feel excited all the time, so let's remember it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all doom and gloom. Let's remember it's not all doom and gloom, but we're talking in terms of mental health and well-being and understanding the darker emotions that can pull us down and send us into these dark, weedy places. So notice the range of emotions that you feel and begin to write them down, jot them down. And then you can begin to, when you are in a sticky place, then you can begin to label the emotion that you're going through. Because if you're going through something like that and you haven't got an idea of what possibly could be going on, it all gets even more hectic. Blah. So first of all, figure out what emotion you're going through, and then get really curious about the trigger. Where did that come from? Is it something about something that's going to happen and you're anticipating, and it's a perceived thing, or is it something that's happened in the past that's actually happened and it's gone now? And once you've been able to kind of pull the triggers, it's you can, just knowing where they came from and where the roots were, and knowing that some of these things in the past you can put to bed now. That you don't need to broken record player it round in a yesterday loop in your brain, because all that's doing is causing you pain and suffering. And then the things for the future. I mean, sometimes, yes, we do need to plan, and yes, we need to mitigate difficult, challenging situations, and not everything's all going to be all roses. But, if you can begin to come back to the moment and really feel settled, doing a grounding exercise, if you go back and listen to the meditations or whatever, but come back to the moment, you can begin to simply let go of some of this garbage that's sabotaging your ability to move and live in this world in a peaceful and gentle way. So hopefully that makes sense, and happiness can only be here and now. You know, we can remember sweet memories, and we can have excitement for a holiday or anything, but actually that true settledness, the true place of transformation and healing, the only place to find that is in the now. Gonna go now. Namaste. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.